Hi, welcome
This is Kent
to
Renee, and we're going to have another video and podcast concerning what's going on today and what we think it might mean.
welcome to the Augmentation of Man with Kent and Renee Miller.
Okay.
And what we are doing is connecting the dots between spirituality, astronomy, mathematics, science, so that we can see the bigger picture. These are lessons that come to us and channelings that come to us from the ancients and other professors in the spiritual realm that Kent is able to hear when he is in a trance. And so today we had an interesting, we like to use the word meditation. Trance is really the correct word for it, but we like the word meditation. And so we are going to talk about what we got in this communication, basically is what it is. So let me, I'm having issues with my mouse.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up our notes.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of chaos going on right now.
Yeah.
And we're being told there's a little reprieve coming. We don't know how long it's going to last.
We don't know exactly when it's going to come, but very soon. And when I heard this morning was 3 gongs, the winds will cease. We're talking about what the gong sound means.
So many times the messages are symbolic and kind of metaphoric. They paint a picture. So you have to kind of meditate on what the meaning of those words are. So when I looked in the Dream Dictionary, because this is very good for deciphering metaphoric information or pictures or things, gong is symbolic for rejection. So we have 3 gongs symbolizing rejection. And the winds will cease.
And that goes along with the winds will cease. Like the winds create chaos.
The winds of change.
Yeah. And what's not really change is chaos. So it's informing the chaos will cease while this is going on because a repose will take event.
It'll give us a repose of the event,
calm.
Which is it's either a rest or an absence of movement or a calm. So the whole thing together is that there's a rejection, there's a stopping of this right. current energy flow right now associated with the coronavirus and all the other events going on around it.
The coronavirus has taken all this chaos that was going on and calmed it. Okay, because you don't see people in the streets doing marches and things like this. Everything is calm. People are waiting and saying, what's going on? What's going to happen? Some are pulling back within their places of event, which is their house, and they're watching.
I think too there's a underlying sense of anxiety because there's certain things in the developing picture that are making people a little anxious of what they're seeing, and we're going to get into that as well. So moving on, they told us to prepare your resonance, and we asked, is this everything is moving up in vibration? And what they said was, for many, but not all. So I think we're talking about primarily people and their vibration raising, but not everyone.
No, that's true. And it said if an aphrodisiac substance will be used, an aphrodisiac is something it gets you kind of excited, I guess you could say. So if an aphrodisiac of substance will be used, people will get excited about information.
They're talking about, when we question this, it's about edible information. Yeah. So they're talking about we're taking in information. It's going to give us kind of this excitement.
And they're hungry for information. They're
Mhm.
hungry to get more information. And then people now are starting to fact check. They're
Right.
not just taking things, they're not getting information, just taking, okay, that's
For
the
granted.
truth. Yeah, for granted. They're fact checking, which is great.
Yes, this is where we need to go. And so just backing up a moment, this raising of vibration, to me, it's for the people who are awakening, the people who are searching for information, who are searching for the truth, because it's with this newfound knowledge that our vibration raises. And I imagine that those who are not looking for the truth, who are not doing their research and consuming information, are the ones that are, their vibration is going to stay where it's at.
Right. They're not going to be included in the where it says prepare your resonance. Okay. And the thing is, consequential information that's coming in will be distributed. So if you're looking for information, consequential information will be given to you. But it said proceed with caution, because you have to look around at your environment. You get the information, look around where it's coming from, why from that particular place, and watch your environment around you. It will tell you a lot about your information and where you're getting it from and why you're getting it.
So consequential information would be information that's being used to produce a consequence. Maybe a consequence of manipulating our understanding. So we have to be very careful about the information that we're taking in and make sure we're doing our fact checking.
And that causes you to have a hard outer shell when you start fact checking. You say, okay, I'm not going to just believe everything that's put in front of me. I'm going to fact check this. That's creating a hard outer shell until you're able to get the truth from what you heard or saw.
Yes, and we're being told that hardness is going to, our hard stance is going to enhance our understanding, because it's a part of the deciphering process. Okay, so now there's another thing that's being noted out there in the community. People are talking about a military presence coming in, and military tanks and vehicles, and people are drawing conclusions about what is going on. So we had to ask about that.
Yeah, I got no arrest of important players. There could be a lot of arrest of minor players,
but not the ones at the top.
Not the one at the top, not the most important, because there's something else that has to go on.
So there's
the timing is not right, it said.
Yes. So there's going to be a cleaning of the house, so to speak. What we're doing here is we're preparing for the next cycle. The next cycle, we have to have a cleaning up. We have to be on base with truth, the way that the universe sees the truth. Mm-hmm. So universal truth, not the truth that exists today.
Well, military vehicles have two reasons why they're there. One is to help those in need, which they're doing, and give them current supplies and things of they need right now. And then the other one is move those out who do not have the right attitude.
Moving into the new
next cycle. Yeah.
Yes. And so everything is going to change as we know it.
It is changing right now.
It is changing. Today. And, you know, to bring the astrology into this, which I'm throwing a curveball because I didn't prepare this man for this one. But astronomy, the way that it works is you have each planet and planetary body puts off its own vibrational field. And as they move in their orbits, they come into close proximity with other planets or alignments, okay? So you have these planetary alignments that occur, and they have a synchronization of their vibrational fields, and it puts out this vibration that affects the energy pathways that are going on Earth, and that in turn affects the events that happen. And right now, as of actually, it started back last year, toward the end of 2019, is a theme of government and also of our monetary system changing.
Yeah,
so these are two
that.
major themes going on right
Yeah,
now.
we were told our monetary system was going to change.
And March was a major month for government influence. And because I believe it's in Capricorn, and India and China both were born, so to speak. They came into being in the sign of Capricorn, and that is in the influence right now. So those two countries may be brought into the picture, and we're especially seeing it with China.
Now, these things influenced the whole globe, not an individual person that was born in the sign of Capricorn, the whole country, because it controls the feelings of the people of that particular country.
It's a global effect.
It's a global.
And what we see are opportunistic energy pathways that present itself for change, for our learning, for various things, for us to open our minds and expand our consciousness. All of these things are presented to us. And so right now, this month, we are seeing a lot of movement within the government. And we are also seeing a lot of monetary changes.
Changes in the system. So now they're saying, okay, a prelate is coming. It's setting the stage for things to happen in the next 5 years approximately, and setting the parameters
for the next cycle.
Now, a prelate, to me, could be somebody it can be religious, or it could be somebody that's really in charge.
It would be,
or somebody that takes charge.
On Earth, a prelate would be like something like a bishop of the church. Now, and specifically the Catholic Church.
Well, but that would be the prelate would be a person who takes charge.
Yeah, somebody who's higher up, who has the designation to be able to enforce changes and to dictate, the events coming. And so
the thing is, it's setting up the parameters. That's the important part of this. They're setting up the right parameters to move into the next cycle, which many native people in America here, and I presume the natives in Australia, see this next cycle coming, and they've seen it coming for some time now, and now we can see it developing in my meditation, and this is what I had gotten.
Right, and so prelate can exist in the spirit realm. They often talk about prelate. So this is a spiritual entity they're talking about that comes in and says, okay, this is how we're going to change this field, this energy field for the coming cycle. And these are the parameters that we are going to establish for the next cycle. And so, talking about cycles and the Mayan calendar, and a lot of people took the ending of the Mayan calendar as the end of the world, because there was no more further predictions that came after December 21st, 2012. The reason being is that ended the grand cycle, and a whole new cycle is beginning.
Going into a transition point from there.
But also, this next cycle is completely different. And they probably didn't have knowledge of how that cycle was going to change. And so this is establishing all the rules
so what do we expect
for the next cycle.
Yeah, this is what we expect for the next cycle. Then.
So we're moving into a new cycle of conceptual learning. It is a higher learning. It is taking all your data gathering and being able to
Well,
connect
people
the
are
dots.
looking for more correct answers. They want the calm. They're looking for the more correct, logical answers to the different questions that they have.
Yes. And we will enter a period of peace. Now, we're going to have a lot of chaos in the next 5 years because you've got destruction of systems that no longer serve us.
Some people think of the chaos, but we think of it as an absolute change for this next cycle, a positive change. And it's really not chaos. And they'll try to make it into chaos.
Well, the resistance that comes, because a lot of people can't imagine doing things in a different way. If you've never seen it done that way, it's hard to imagine. It creates a lot of anxiety, and people want to hold on to the old way of doing business. But that has to change.
And we have to step out, like we had talked in the last couple of videos. You have to get out of your box. You have to say, okay, I'm willing to accept the new way of doing things. And actually, the results will be pretty much the same as your old way, but you have a new way of getting there.
The results will not be the same.
Well, not exactly the same. But
we're going to a much higher level. It's a higher spiritual understanding. It's a higher level of wisdom. It is the truth, finding the truth in a more expansive way. And to add to that, we are going to be having, after all this dust settles and the new cycle begins, and there's going to be, unfortunately, there's going to be a huge decrease in the population with all these events happening. And so you really don't want to be in a big city, because that's going to be the more central points of all that chaos and
more difficult.
It's much more difficult to survive. You probably want to be living out where you can have
Just
some
outside,
land where you can farm, you can have a garden and be able to self-sustain for a while, because it's going to come down to that.
And who's going to help us with this teaching?
Next cycle. Yes. So after the dust settles, we're going to have outside entities.
That's outside the planet Earth.
Outside the planet Earth, there are numerous other biological entities that are going to come to help us, and they're going to be teaching us. And they did this once before. This is actually not new.
No.
If you look at some of the ancient artwork around the world, they have pictures of pictographs of other entities that look different.
Yeah, not all of them look exactly like us. And we have to entertain ourselves by saying, okay, so they look different. Not to be afraid of what you see or what you hear, but to take in what they teach, which is the important aspect of this whole learning.
They're highly intellectual, and they're coming here to raise the vibration of humanity. And the way we do that, this is not a feel-good exercise. The way that we raise our vibration, and we've said this before, is that it's all about the learning. So once you have been through an experience and you do your internal work and your analyzation of that event and how that event came to happen, and once you fully understand it, you receive a vibrational attunement that raises your vibration to some degree. And so that new vibration that you are emitting is going,
you're ready to learn.
Yes, but it's also going to put you in a slightly different realm of attraction, where you're going to be attracting new events and new people into your lives at that new higher vibration. And so these entities coming in are going to be teaching us, and as we learn from them, we are raising our vibration.
So we hope you listen to what we said, take it in, do your own research.
Lots of research.
Find what we say is pretty much right on, and do, like I said, now's the time to do your own research, because you're quarantined within your own area.
Right.
And this is the time to find truth. The absolute time to find truth, now that you're locked into your own area, you can research the truth. Don't just look at one player in this game. Look at several players and determine the truth.
Spend your time gathering the data and connecting the dots. That's where we're moving. That's what's going to make you a conceptual being. And that is where humanity is going in the next cycle. And so we have a lot to look forward to.
So all will be well. Do not get excited or uncalmed. Stay calm. Watch the horizon, because all will get well.
And acquiesce to the change. That's we need to just move with the flow of the changing energy field and adapt to it. And so we have a lot to look forward to in the future. Thank you for joining us. Please check out the books, the Augmentation of Man series, both the A Study in Renaissance and the Acquiescence of Humanity has a ton of information. It's just, it is really amazing. We've done a lot of the deciphering for you so that it's not so difficult.
And if you don't want to watch this video, we are going to put the information we just discussed about on anchor.fm, where it's a podcast, and you can just listen to what's been being said rather than watching the video. But you'll still get the same information.
Same information, same taping, but with Anchor, you can listen to it while you're cooking. You can listen to it while you're doing something else.
Jogging around your house.
Normally we would say driving, but I guess not too many people are driving right now. So anyway, thank you for joining us. Have a nice day. And we hope that this is going to give you a sense of calm, knowing that some of the conspiracy theories that are out there today are not really happening.
Yeah, with purpose and hope.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you again, and have a great day. Bye-bye now.